Alright. So let's go. I want to welcome each and every one of you. The world that you and I are living in is extremely competitive. Don't worry, the other slide. Is it from there? This is, don't worry. This is a picture of people that went for, not interview now, Nigerian Idol. Yeah, Nigerian Idol. Is to show you how competitive the world is now. And how many winners do they want? One. Just one. So we're living in a very, very fiercely competitive time. In fact, the late management guru Peter F. Drucker put it this way. He said, the 21st century is the era of the 3 C's. Accelerated change. Do you want us to, okay, like to accelerated change, overwhelming complexities, and tremendous competition. I'll take it again. Accelerated change, overwhelming complexities, and tremendous competition. The world has changed, and it is changing so fast. Including our country, Nigeria. If anything happens right now, the news can be heard immediately. The other day I was going home, and before I got to the BTC gate, I saw one of those guys that, that honk things during traffic. Alright? You remember those, those guys? So the guy was very tired, he sat down and his head was bowed like this. I took a picture of him, and then I posted it on Facebook immediately on my iPad. I said, what do you think this guy is thinking? And immediately I began to get responses. It didn't used to happen like that. Talk to me, someone. Yeah. So that means that I can see a shooting. I can see a shooting, alright? And upload it immediately and instantly. Those are the type of changes that we are talking about. In those days when our fathers went to school, the government employed them. Is it not so? Yeah. But now, and when they employ you, you have a chance to stay on the job for like 40 years, 30 years, you know so. Those kind of jobs are gone. They are gone. Really, even right now, as a matter of fact, the people that are even employed right now are small organizations. The people that employ the most now. So these are some of the changes that you and I are going through. Apart from that, too, your company is also dealing with a lot of competitors. You have ferocious competitors that have similar products. True of us. Talk to me somewhere. True of us. Similar products, similar customer targets. Sometimes highly regulated pricing and universal promise of value. And skilled competitors. Most of your competitors are also as skilled as you. True of us. Sure. So you cannot rest on your laurels. You can't rest on your laurels. Let's go. That's why I don't agree with everything that this man said. His name is Charles Darwin. He said that men came from animals or monkeys, whatever. But there's a statement he made that I agree with. And here's the statement. He said, it is not the strongest species that survives, nor the most intelligent that survives. It is the one that is most what? Adaptable to what? So change will take place all the time. But because, as a matter of fact, in fact, nowadays, people do business a lot of times, not just only because of the company, but because of the individuals that they're dealing with in the company. Am I talking to somebody? Yeah. So nowadays, you are also a personal brand. Am I talking to someone? Yeah. Just as a company is a brand, you can also brand yourself in such a way that customers do business with your organization just because of you. So then how then do we produce results in our organization? The first thing that you and I have got to deal with in producing results is that results don't just happen. Results don't just what? Happen. Nothing just happens, as a matter of fact. The great things that happen in this world are created to happen intentionally. As a matter of fact, any result that you see, whether it's a promotion, whether it's a closing of a big sale, I'm not talking to somebody, whether it's a better evaluation or appraisal, all of those things that you hear about, in fact, whether it's a new car, those things are a result of a process. They are the printout of a process. When you print a paper, the paper that you see is an outshoot of a process. I don't know if I'm talking to somebody. So every result that you see in your life, whether you are aware of it or not, came as a result of certain processes. And those processes, number one, they start with your attitude or your thinking, your thoughts. They start first with your attitude. If you check yourself very, very well, there's no result that is accidental. So a lot of times, the thing that stops people from producing outstanding results at work and even in their personal lives boils down to our beliefs. Somebody say beliefs. Can you see the board? Your beliefs is what will either take you higher or keep you in one position. But so I don't want to preempt myself, but I'm going to deal with beliefs intensely. So let's start with an inspiring vision. Your company has a vision of its own. It has a mission statement of its own. But for you to produce results, for you to climb, for you to make an impact, for you to be relevant, you must have your own personal vision that aligns with your company vision. And I don't know if I'm making sense here. An inspiring vision. When Martin Luther King woke up one day, he didn't say that I have a vision statement. He said I have a dream. Am I talking to somebody? He said I have a dream that one day, on the green hills of Georgia, the children of former slaves and the children of former slave owners, they will sit on the very table of brotherhood. He said, I have a dream that one day my 4 children will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. He said, I have a dream that one day we can hew a stone of hope from a mountain of despair. A lot of people died with him. As a matter of fact, Barack Hussein Obama is a paragon and a living testimony of the power of a dream. So it starts first with you. You see, your company will give you your job description. Is it not so? You are given a job description, but it is your responsibility to come up with a vision for yourself at work. You know why? A vision differentiates you. It sets you apart. Because a lot of times, think about it, your job can be monotonous. You come to work every day, you do practically the same thing that you did yesterday. Is it not so? With a little bit of variation. And sometimes as a human being, you might get bored. And when you are bored, you can never be creative. When you are bored, you can never be enthusiastic. When you are bored, you can never look forward to coming to work with passion. So that's what a vision does for you. It gives you a mental picture of where you want to be. You know, I was talking to a friend of mine who works in Stanbic IBTC. He's a friend and a client of mine. He used to be in Port Harcourt, but now he's in their learning and development unit. He's doing so well. Travels around Africa for Stanbic IBTC, doing trainings for all their branches. When we were in Port Harcourt, he used to love talking to people. But he said that his vision for Stanbic IBTC is not to be in operations. It's not to be in banking, even though that was where he started from. Are you listening to me? He said he wants to be in their learning and in their development. So what this guy began to do. Every day or every week, he sends out inspirational articles to everybody in the learning and development unit and some of his bosses. In fact, some week that he doesn't send, they call him and say, you've not sent anything. Now listen, his bosses in the learning and development now came to Port Harcourt to do some training. Meanwhile, prior to that time, once every month on Saturday, this guy will rent a hall, hire camera, invites people, sometimes free, sometimes just take a little change from them, and he will do trainings like that, and he will record it. And he will keep it. So he invited his bosses one time to his house. He told his wife to prepare food. And whilst they were eating, he popped in one of his videos. One of his training videos. And the guys in the lane at the bedroom were like, wow, we didn't know that you were this good in training. They didn't say anything. Months later, when there was a vacancy in learning and development, they were thinking of bringing someone from outside. One of the guys said, no. We've seen what we call demonstrable competence. I don't know if I'm making sense here. We've seen what we call what? Demonstrable what? Competence. So they employed this guy from Port Harcourt, moved in. He lives in Lagos now. In fact, he just came back from South Africa. Today he's in Namibia. Next month he's in Zambia. You know, Zambia is a big group. They have bands all over Africa. Highly promoted, no longer in operations. What happened there? A vision. Someone say vision.
A vision.
A clarity. You know why? Because the guy looked within himself and says, what am I good at? Where's my sweet spot? Where's my natural tendencies? And is there a space in this company for me to exhibit my natural tendencies? Am I talking to somebody now? Because when you're in that place where you can exhibit your natural tendencies, your creativity will flow. Talk to me, somebody. Your hidden talent will flow. You know why? Because you're in your sweet spot. You are like fish inside water. You don't struggle to do it. So you must have a vision. A vision is a mental picture. Vision is so powerful that when your vision is clear, it changes your behavior. And you notice that it's coming. I gave an example. I gave an example of a lady who's a house help. She's a nanny. But she has a vision that someday she's going to go back to school. I approached the work. In fact, I think I put the story in this book, a real life story of a girl. I went to do training for Guarantee Trust Bank in Bayelsa State. So when I was done with the training, the manager of the branch was giving me a story. That after all this thing that you're saying is really, really true. I said, why? She said that there was a lady who was working there, a young girl. She was a tea girl. She just served tea. But her attitude was different from the other people who served tea. From tea girl, she wrote WAEC. She wrote JAM. Entered university. Was doing only a part-time program. Was still doing her tea girl work. When there was a vacancy after she finished everything to work in the bank, she got it. Today she works in Guarantee Trust Bank in Bayelsa State. The other girls who are doing tea are still there. Gossiping their bosses. Talk to me, somebody. What? There's the power of a vision. It changes your attitude. You know why? Because you don't live for now, you are living for tomorrow. Talk to me, somebody. You are seeing something that the people in your environment cannot see. So you dress differently. Talk to me, somebody. You talk differently. You comport yourself differently. You carry yourself differently because your behavior is targeted at your tomorrow and not at your present. So regardless of the challenges and the tough times that you face, you have the strength to go through it because of what you want to accomplish tomorrow. I don't know if I'm making sense. But having a vision is one thing. You don't end at the vision. The next thing you must have goals. Someone say goals. Now a vision is a grand plan, but your goal is what will break the vision down. The vision is the empire in your mind. Your goals, now you want to start to give your vision legs. You want to tell your vision it's time to move. It's time to move. Can I go on? Yeah. Alright. What is a goal? Basically, I call a goal a vision that you have legs on. You know, one of the things about goals is that you are breaking down your vision into steps of material. You see, your vision is a mental picture, is it not so? You can't touch it. You can't see it physically, but you can see it within yourself. Am I talking to somebody? You can even rehearse. You can talk to it in your mind, but you can't touch it. But goals help you to transfer that which you see in your mind into calculated steps. So how does that happen? Number one, The first characteristic of a goal is that your goal must be specific. Someone say specific.